I love nose riding.
Yeah, you look
I love it so much that I've spent most of my effort working on the board setup and cross-stepping, all so I could spend as much time on the nose as possible.
They never go for it.
However, a few months ago, I got fed up with not being able to finish waves and finally decided to put some effort into the back steps. In this video, we're going to cover some aspects I've overlooked and also some other interesting things that happened during the session. And a quick apology to the nose of my board. I still love you, but it's time I learned to just walk away.
How could you walk away from me after all of what we said we'd be? Broken beyond repair. I'm the bird around your neck. You go act like you don't know.
Before we review the session, let me explain a few things I've been working on these last few months. Number one is posture. When we're stepping backwards, we want to keep the same posture we had while stepping forwards. A mostly upright posture yet slightly tilted forward seems to work the best for me. The one thing you really want to avoid is leaning backwards, as that'll make you very unbalanced.
You are just a stranger to me now, a stranger to me.
Number two is that I struggle stepping one foot right behind the other one.
You are just a stranger.
Since this has been a problem for a while, lately I've been trying to overdo the cross step. What I mean by this is when I'm on a wave, I think I'm putting my back foot here, when in reality, it's actually going there. To fix this, I've been overcompensating and trying to aim here. When I do that, my foot actually ends up right behind the other one. This is just my way of trying to fix a bad habit and teach my body the correct feeling. And the third thing, and the thing I focused on the most this session, is ending my back steps in the correct position for a turn. If my goal is to do a right cutback after a nose ride, I want to aim to get my front foot somewhere in the middle of the stringer and my back foot far back on the board and close to the edge of the rail. I also want to make sure I'm opening up my body in the direction of the turn as well as look where I want to go. If you plan your turn before you start your back steps, you'll be setting yourself up for success. Started out the session strong with some decent foot positioning after this back step. Starting strong is not usual for me, as it normally takes me 6 to 7 waves to even remember what I came here to do. I also decided to wear boots today because last session my feet froze, but apparently the water warmed up since then and they were quickly removed. One nice thing about practicing your back steps is mentally it's quite easy. When I go out for a session, I try to work on just one thing, whether it's size of my steps or my board setup. If I work on one thing, I'm more likely to succeed. If you're trying to work on multiple things at one time, it's very easy just to get lost in the wave. However, once I get to the nose, I'm typically past the technique I was working on and can completely wipe my brain and focus solely on the back steps. I've only been doing this for a few months, but I should have been doing this from the very beginning. Another great thing is you can practice your back steps when the wave is basically over. Once the power is gone, I'll often practice getting to the back of my board and just trying to lift the nose as high as I can. It's a simple thing, but adds to your overall comfort when it comes to walking around on your board.
We both know you can hold.
This wasn't the greatest wave in the world, but I was pretty happy with the overall stability, as you can tell by the incoming thumbs up. board setup was patient and in control, my forward and back steps were very in line with each other, and I actually got my feet in the proper position for the cutback. It's a nice feeling when you actually complete the technique that you set out to do. I've mentioned this many times, but here's another good example of how you use your back foot to make trim adjustments. For a while, I felt that my feet were stuck to my board, and I felt very uneasy picking up a foot to make an adjustment. But the more time you spend in the water walking your board, this stuff just starts to happen naturally. Few backstep tips have progressed my surfing quite a bit, but if you don't ever get up towards the front of your board, you never get a chance to practice them. In my 2 years of practicing cross-stepping and nose riding, there were 2 tips that changed everything for me, and of course, I made a video about it, which you could find right here. Thanks for watching, see you on the next one.